Hi, I'm Lovely, and today I'm going to review Torchwood Series 3, Children of Earth. This will be pretty different from my first year review since the format of the show changed heavily with the series, but I will still do my thoughts on each episode. First, a quick summary of how I feel about the series as a whole. Okay, I will try to keep this short because I'm going to have a lot to say during the review already, but this is a really good series. There's no bad episode. I think one of the episodes may potentially be just a tiny bit boring, and that's either episode 1 or 2. But overall, this is insane. It's one of the best things to come from Torchwood and just, I think, the Doctor Who universe. It's really, really good. It's super dark. It's just a really fucked up story, and Torchwood does not stop when it comes to being absolutely soul-crushing, like the finale of Series 2. It keeps going with this series, and oh my god. Bullet points, Yanto, of course. Jesus. Iconic. So iconic. Peter Capaldi, also fantastic. He's my favorite Doctor, and I saw him in Doctor Who first. I didn't get into Torchwood until years later. I want to say probably sometime after Series 9, maybe Series 8, I'm not sure. But he's fantastic in this. It's pretty good overall. It's really, really good. Again, I did want to keep this part short because I have a lot to. I'm gonna go through every episode now. I'm gonna have a lot to say, I think. So yeah, overall, incredible. Let's get to the episodes. Episode 1. Jesus. What a good start. What a really good start to this series. First, we drop the Monster of the Week format, and when I went into this series initially, I didn't know that. I was very confused. I remember, like, that first episode finished, and it just kept going, and I was like, okay. And then I finally finished the arc, the 5-episode arc, and I'm like, okay, was this just an arc, or are we just doing a few arcs this season? And then it was like, nope, Series 4. I was like, oh, okay. This is really good. This is a really good start. One, the Torchwood team is fantastic. I love the story with just everybody that's going on. Yanto and Jack are having, like, partner issues, and I think it's really good. I think it's really good. I like Yanto trying to figure himself out. I really like that we get introduced to everybody's family. And I think this is going to be controversial. I think some people might hate this, but I have watched Series 3 and 4 with some friends of mine, but we have skipped the first 2 series. And this is usually, I've shown them it, and they've thought it was like, they really didn't like it. But something I really like about these last 2 series is that people can start here, and it makes sense for the most part. They don't really need to know much. And of course, I would love for people to, like, watch the whole thing, that kind of thing. But sometimes people just don't like the show. I know I go into it in the beginning, in my first 2 for reviews for the first 2 series, but some people really don't like this, and they have started it and be like, nope, that's not for me. But I've still wanted them to experience Series 3 and 4. So I really like how you could start people off with this series, and it makes sense for the most part. It's like, okay, I get it. But no, it's really good. It's really good. I don't know how to describe it as, like, it's a really good, like, standalone series. Just a little bit. It, like the whole story is just contained in this series. Like all of the characters, a lot of them are just introduced, and I really like it. Standalone might not be the best way to say it, but I think you know what I mean. It's really, really good. But no, we have... God, there's so much. There's so much to talk about. One, Lois Habiba. Fantastic. Very good. One of my favorite characters. She just, like... There's a lot of people in this. There's a lot. It's hard to, like, talk, like, what am I going to focus on? But no, Lois Habiba's fantastic. John Frobisher, obviously Peter Capaldi, also fantastic. It's like, yeah, wait, what? Like, for people who've seen him in other stuff, it's like, what is he doing here? What the hell? He's in Doctor Who twice, and now he's here? Okay. He's really, really good. Obviously, there will be a lot more to say with his character later. That stuff is great. We have Yanto's family, which I kind of love how immature and kind of real Torchwood is. This is a good showcase with his family. I think it keeps it really grounded. Um, what is it? I believe it's his brother-in-law, Johnny or whatever. Oh, he's so funny. He's so funny. Um, no, it's so good. I should also say, um, growing up, Yanto was someone that I really related to. In case you didn't know, I am queer, and it was very hard to make sense of. The idea of like I'm not strictly bi, but I am some guys. I'm into some guys, and I think Yanto was a really good showcase of it. And the actor's fantastic too. He's one of he's a good character, I think is what to say. He's very important to me. I love him a lot, and it's so good. I love his story. Where he just doesn't know. He's like, I love his sister's reaction. I love his sister's reaction. It's like, no woman was getting around that table when it was talking about Yanto and Jack. It's so funny. It's so funny, and it's so chaotic. I know I'm jumping right into the middle of this episode instead of the start, but it's like, I remember it's very serious, and then you get to Yanto's place, and everything just goes to hell. You have the car gets stolen, which, by the way, insanity. What is it? I think they established that the van is like triple deadlocked or something. I think we don't see the van after this point. It's so funny. But no, God, it's so good. So let's go to the beginning of this episode. Where we have Gwen. One, it's so funny. Are you guys having any shenanigans in the dark? Ugh, it's so cute. I love it. I really do. But no, we get introduced to this doctor who is like, oh, we need a doctor because, Owen passed away. And it's like, everybody initially, when they hear that push, like immediately like, oh, that's not happening. We are not replacing, because this is just, we're getting into it. We don't know what to expect. We expect, okay, they need more cast members. They need a doctor. Of course. And obviously they don't go that route, and I'm very glad they don't. And it's just, goddamn, it's messed up. It's such a good story. But no, we have the doctor character who ends up like betraying Jack, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty clever. And they put a bomb in him. Amazing. It's like, okay, good. And then they kill him. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up. He gets killed by I believe it's the woman from Resident Evil. I think the first one. If you know who I'm talking about, respect to you, because I'm not even sure if she's in Resident Evil, the movies, of course. But God, no, everybody is just cooking. Gwen and Reese are talking about having a baby, that kind of thing. We find out she is pregnant. Thank God we really forget about the early Gwen stuff here, just a little bit. Thank God. But no, everybody's really good here, and this is a really good first episode to get back into it. One, we have the introduction of, obviously, the plot. All of the children. Why are they opening their mouths and like just screaming for? What the hell's going on? Why are they speaking French? It's obviously they're not speaking French. But no, it's really good, and it's a fascinating mystery. It's a fascinating mystery, and this is probably easily like Torchwood's, like, I would say probably best antagonist, at least up to this point, obviously. It's really, it's a good starter, and it's like, okay, this is a world event, ruh-roh, and I'm super into it. And obviously this is such at least for me, an action-packed, like, this episode really grabs you, especially with the end when the bomb explodes and we lose the Torchwood hub. They eventually bring it back for the audio dramas, and they describe it as, oh, it's fucked up. It's like really fucked up. But it's like this place is just demolished right now. But it's like, oh shit, okay, what's going on here? And then it's not a single episode. Obviously, it's 5 episodes. It keeps going. It's not Monster of the Week anymore. And it's really good. And I like how, I believe in Series 1 of Doctor Who, they even say that, like, Torchwood fell or something like that. I can't remember specifically, but they reference Torchwood being, like, destroyed at some point in the future. But no. First episode, really good. Let's get into the next one. Episode 2. pretty good as well. I think every episode here is pretty good. I think this one is just a little on the slower side. Like, I think I talked about it, how one of these episodes is just slightly boring. I think it's this one for me. There's something about Gwen and Yonto escaping, I think, the explosion at the beginning of this episode, like dodging the sniper, that it just doesn't do anything for me. For people who actually know how guns and stuff, like sound effects, that kind of thing, I have a friend who's like really into that kind of stuff. Oh, the pain he was going through when he was hearing everything. And seeing the way Gwen shoots the guns. Oh, I love it. It's so funny. It's really funny. But no, I'm not too big into the beginning of this episode, but this is still pretty good. Um, when I think about this one, this is the episode to me where Jack is in concrete. And that's something too. We learn that, oh yeah, what happens if he explodes? Because that was, at the time, like, okay, he's immortal. How does this work? Like, we've seen him survive other things, but what if he just explodes? And it's fucked up. This one really starts a trend of, I guess you can maybe count last series where Jack is in the ground for like 2,000 years or something, or a little less than 2,000. But this one really starts the trend of, because Jack is immortal, something fucked up will just happen to him. We have something like that in Miracle Day as well, and it's really good. I really like it. That shows he comes back to life. Everything forms together. And even before all of the skin is formed, everything like that, he comes back. He's alive, and he's just fucking screaming. Um, it's heavy, and then it's like, okay, he's back. What now? We wanted to kill you, so now we're just gonna put you in cement. Jesus. it's a lot. That is the thing that I mostly remember when it comes to this episode. We do have more developments like everywhere, but it's weird. I don't have too much thoughts on this. I do like Andy. I like Gwen getting out of there, and Andy is good. Andy shines a little bit in this season. I don't think Andy's like super amazing until the audio dramas, but I do like him in this series and the next one for how little he's not in it a lot, but I do like him. But no, I like Andy being like, what kind of terrorist shoots at your wheels? That kind of stuff. He's just smart. I think it's played really, really well. And I just like a lot of this. Also, I should talk about the dude who smells stuff. I like the season. That part is just a little weird. It's like Torchwood is a very weird series in general, and this out of all of them, I think is the most defined of the first 3 series. But I do think they still have a couple weird things that maybe they don't have to be like that, like the dude smelling to like know stuff. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with it, but is it weird? Yes. It is a little weird. Also, yeah, something else I'm not too interested in is, I think, Jack and Gwen, like, editor note, I meant Reese and Gwen, or Gwen and Reese, not Jack and Gwen, hiding in the back of that car. This one just has a few scenes where I'm like, I'm not too interested in some of this. But, yeah, overall, it's a decent episode. What's his name? Is it? I almost said Adelard Decker. That's from a different show. that's from TMA. No, Decker, the dude who huffs on the glass at the end of this like episode. He's also a bit weird. He's not weird. It's just odd. It's like it's one of those things where if I think about that character, he's not super high on my list. He might be better in his like the character he plays in Doctor Who, if honestly, but. No, this episode is decent. Let's get into the next one. Episode 3. I sound a little excited. I think this is when because we get more into the plot with this one. We find out why the 456 are here, and oh god, is it scary! God, it's so good. It's gonna be hard to talk about specifics, but just overall, this plot is very, very like. I think it's paced really well. I wish I would have seen this on TV. I believe it aired like each day for a week, and that must have been insane to watch, especially when you're like watching it like live. Of course, it's like, okay, what's happening in the Doctor Who universe? Oh God, okay, okay, and it's really good. It's really good. It's what a good antagonist, and they bring him. They introduce him a really good way because it's really scary. And God, I may ramble a little bit, but it's just really good overall. And I like seeing every character like just react to this. We should talk about Jack's daughter. I love it. It's so fascinating. I love how they introduce all of these families. It's such a good choice, and and for me at least, it makes sense. It's like, okay, yeah, we don't see their families for the most part, and that's fine. I think that's fine. I like that we get more development here. Um, I really do. I really do. It's very good to watch. I might not have too much to say for these next, like for this one, because it's right in the middle. It's like we don't know everything, but we know a little bit. But no, let's get into episode 4. This one, episode 3, we now know the threat, we now know what they want. Let's get into episode 4. Episode 4. Jesus. Really good. First, let's talk about the decision to give away 10% of the children. Jesus. I think it's handled pretty well. It really shows how things are fucked up, especially with the government and that kind of stuff. It's Jesus. That's really all there is to say. I love the discussion of like, how do we do this? Do we do it alphabetically? Shout out to Nicholas Briggs, by the way, being here. He's the guy that's Professor. What is it? Like Dr. Yates, something Yates or something like that. And no, he plays a bad guy pretty well. Obviously, he plays it pretty well. He has some experience there. But God, it's a heavy discussion, and that's something I really like about this season is how real it is, or how real it at least feels. Obviously, it's still a show, but it's like Jesus. And also, we lose Yanto. This episode. And I talked about how I didn't like him too much in the first 2 series. I like him in this one. He's really good here. He's really good. And obviously obviously, not obviously, but I just assume anybody who's watched the show knows this. He has a shrine in Cardiff, I believe, and that's so incredible. That's so cool. What a cool fandom. What a cool fandom moment. That's so sweet. That's so cool. But no, this is just a good episode overall. This is the heavy one, and it really like sets up like because it ends with Yanto dying, and then it's like, okay, well now we have one more episode. Oh shit. What are we gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do to combat this? And it's cliffhanger is not the right word, but it's a good lead up into the next episode. Jesus. Yeah, let's get into the next one. Episode 5. God. You're gonna hear me say that for these last 2 a lot. I know I had a lot to say for the first episode, and I still have a lot for these, but I think everyone really knows the deal. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It's really good. Where do you even start? Like, what messed up thing do you start with this episode, with this finale? One, I guess we talk about, they mentioned the Doctor. Gwen's speech is really good. Gwen Cooper gets a lot of love, and that makes me kind of happy. People really respect her. They reference her in one of the later seasons of Doctor Who, I believe Series 12, the New Year special for that. I think they reference Gwen Cooper there, and it's like, it's because people like her. Obviously she was in Doctor Who before. I'm so glad Yanto was in Doctor Who as well, because he's pretty funny there. It's it's good, and it's like, where is the Doctor during shit like this? It is a good question. It's definitely one of those things where it's like, we kind of just have to, it's them acknowledging that the Doctor would probably be here more, but he's not to solve the day. And honestly, the simplest reason could be he just wasn't. And because he wasn't, he can't. Just something simple like that, but I'm glad they acknowledge it. And it really sets up the tone, because while we're seeing Gwen talk about this, we're seeing soldiers kidnap the children, and it's fucked up. It's goddamn. Is it? It's just heavy. It's just incredible. Let's talk about the 456. What do you guys use the children for? The hit. God, it's just a story. It might be like it might be one of the silliest things in the world. Like it really might be like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's just what? It's about drugs. But I really like it. I really like the idea that the 456 could potentially be bluffing about all of this. It's just a story about a drug addict. Like, okay, we gave them 10 children and they said they would leave, and now they come back wanting more. It's just about drugs, and I don't know. I like it. It's fucked up. I really like it, and I really like the potential that they were just bluffing this whole time. Like they didn't have anything to actually destroy the planet. They didn't have anything like that. And we still like lost so many people. We just gave in. And I wonder, we do know, well, here's the thing, we do know they had poison because of last episode. And I don't know how that would work if they could distribute it everywhere on the planet or anything like that. I don't think they it's weird because it could go both ways, but I really think it's more interesting if there's like, nah, we didn't act, it was just a bluff, and they got away with it for the most part. But goddamn, it's really good. Speaking about Yanto's death, I think it's really interesting and sad. And maybe I've always misunderstood it over the years, because I've done that with some shows where I thought I knew something but I didn't. But when Gwen is telling Yanto's family, it's like, oh, he loved his dad, he loved this kind of stuff. And the sister's like, if that's what Yanto told you, then you never knew him. And I think that's fucked up for how much we love this team and how much we love the team together, that Yanto was still like keeping it to himself. It's kind of insane. It's a lot to take in, but maybe I've misunderstood that. If anyone wants to clarify, go for it. But I've always took it as that they really didn't know him. Yanto was a very like private person, and I think that shows. And I think it does a lot for the character, but it is a sad truth. It is a sad truth. If you love Yanto, by the way, he's fantastic in the audio dramas. He's at his best there. As are most things, at least in my opinion. He's so good there. He's fantastic. But no, we should now. Hey, Jack's kid, his kid, and then his grandkid. In order to defeat the 456, they sacrifice the kid, the grandkid, and the effect they use, it's a little goofy, at least for me. Other people, if you're sold on it, good, but it's a little goofy. But does it hit? Yes, it does hit. But it hits because the actress is so good. She's so good when she's just like wailing basically at her dad because you just killed the kid. It's goddamn, does it hit? It's really sad. It's really sad. If there's one thing that always like gets me during this, whenever I decide to rewatch it, which this one I've rewatched the most. I've talked about it being kind of boring. There's a lot of times where there are just like helicopter shots or drone shots, whatever they did back in the day, of just the city and just like flying around. There's a lot of it when they transition to places, and they are a little boring. But I have watched it like 8 or 10 times. I've seen it so much. If cracks start to show at that point, then I believe this is a pretty good series, you know? But yeah, no, it's just sad. Andy gets the shine. He doesn't do anything. I've always loved the moment where Johnny and all of them are going against like the government or the army or whatever. They break it, and Andy's like, do I join in? Do I join in? And then he joins in. Always badass. It feels really good. That it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. Everything's fine there. I think Andy, at least on screen, has no consequences other than him being like, I don't know what you call it, but like in terms of like employment, that kind of thing, no consequences. He's chilling. At least when it comes to Miracle Day, he's just chilling. But goddamn, it's just good. And then oh god, I forgot this. This is one of those things where it's like there's already so much messed up stuff that you just forget. Fucking John Frobisher, he fucking killed his whole family, and it didn't even matter in the end. He killed all of his family and himself, and it didn't really matter because they saved the day. Insanity. Jesus Christ. Russell T Davies, he was cooking with this one. He was really cooking. And everybody else. That's the thing. Whenever people talk about, let's talk about like very quick. I'll be very quick. People with Breaking Bad, they always compliment Vince Gilligan. There's a lot of people that deserve praise, and I don't know all their names. So yes, I'm gonna praise Russell T Davies, but I want to praise everybody else here too that I don't know about, because this is a fantastic series and it's insanity. But no, the ending of it where Jack's just like, I'm gonna just leave. I'm just gonna run. And it's really sad. It's really sad to me. And I kind of like how fucked up it shows. It shows how fucked up Jack is, just like internally. But also like he's kind of like, he's like, nah, I'm out. Bye. I'll be back next season like nothing happened, but I'm out for now. But yeah, that's episode 5. Goddamn, let me get into my series review. Jesus. Okay, so again, this one is a little different. I don't know if I want to do a character review as much this time around, because it's not like that anymore. I like every character, to say the least. I don't know how to just to keep it simple. I like every character, but no, I really like this series. To compare it, I didn't do this last video because I forgot to. In terms of rating the seasons, in terms of rating the series, obviously it goes series 1, series 2, series 3. That's bottom. It gets better every series for me. For these 3, you'll hear my thoughts on Miracle Day when we get there. But no, for these first 3 seasons, Children of Earth is my favorite. It's very tight. It's a fucking soul destroying, yeah, crushing, but more so destroying. It's a really good story, and I think this series specifically is one that you could really just show to people who haven't watched early Torchwood or Doctor Who, and they can experience it pretty well. It's really good. And goddamn, I believe this is my second favorite series. And for the people who don't know, it's like, are you saying that Miracle Day is your favorite? No, I think my favorite is actually one of the audio drama seasons, but I'm not sure just yet. I'm not sure. This is really good. But goddamn, I think that's all I really have to say. Thank you for watching. If you want to see more reviews, I will get into Miracle Day, and I will get into the next 3 series produced by Big Finish. The 3rd one is being released as we speak, and God, I'm going to review all of it. And I might be reviewing the monthly ranges at some point. I don't have all of them, but I do have a good chunk of them, and I wouldn't mind doing that, because they're pretty good. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm Lovely. I'll see you in the future. Goodbye.